So
Okay.
I,
So one question
so
about that, Faisal, yeah? Like a lot of people, especially like international people, they might not know much about boots. So like, just describe for us, like what is boots and what do they do and what kind of
okay,
level are they at?
okay. So Boots are a internationally renowned retailer, right? But they're a really old, like over 150 years old pharmacist, who then chemist, sorry, and they became, and then they sell literally everything under the sun from personal care and fragrance and cosmetics to electrical stuff to all sorts basically. So yeah, so they're probably on every high street in the UK. They've now been bought out by Walgreens of America. So they're now known as Walgreens. I think about 10 years ago, they had a merger with Alliance Chemists from Germany. So there's this powerhouse of that three massive organizations in one
So big
from, five.
corporate basically, and you're like in charge of buying and procurement and stuff there, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, so obviously for one of the categories, which was personal care, so deodorants and shower gels and things like that. So
Okay.
I was the good thing about that was you obviously got to work with big brands, so Procter and Gamble, Unilever, and you start to understand like, some of the brands within that, so Dove or Shaw or these kind of guys. And then you learn that every brand has got its own objectives. Okay, so this brand is doing well in this particular field, but not this product. How do you grow sales of that? A lot of it was to do with we had decisions to make about promotions and shelf space and where does it fit on shelf and all of these type of things. So it was quite interesting how it all worked. And to be honest, it was amazing because at that time I didn't realize how much power buyers have. It's amazing. People, everyone, you got sent gifts and you got sent all sorts and invitations to the World Cup and Wimbledon and Formula One and all sorts because again, you want to be on good terms with your buyer, otherwise they can delist you.
Amazing. Okay. So like, what happened after Boots then? Did you kind of stick around there for a long time, or what did you do next?
I was there for a couple of years, and then I actually got headhunted to go to the perfume shop. So this was my first venture outside of Nottingham, actually. So 'cause I went to University of Nottingham as well. So this was in High Wycombe, which is a town outside of London. And so this for me was where I would say I grew a lot because first of all, there's personal growth because I'm living on my own now for the first time, and so there's a lot of challenges and how do you kind of face all that stuff. And secondly, so at the time, Boots was this big corporate who and you were just a number. There, it was family. It had a family feel. It was owned by A.S. Watson, which are a massive Chinese conglomerate. They own Superdrug and things like that, but it was only just been bought out, so it still had retained a lot of that family feel. And what they did was, and so obviously because I was in charge of obviously certain fragrance houses, I kind of loved that stuff already, and so I was kind of in my element, and it's quite a glamorous role. Going to work with brands like Armani and Lacoste and all this kind of stuff, and Hugo Boss, and then also going to launch parties and meeting celebrities, and so it was quite a nice. It was quite nice just from a enjoyment perspective. But I think even the work involved, they were quite good with things like development. So because it was more like doing. It wasn't I'm going to send you on training and things like that. It was okay. Look, so they sent me on go to this trade fair, see what you can find and stuff. Or it was what about okay, we're doing this Christmas gift set. Like work with the supplier, see if you can develop a nice design and things like that. So I kind of got my first taste of and not only that, then you can see how did your gift set do, because that was an exclusive gift set with others, and I sold this many. Okay, next year it's going to sell. You know what I mean? So it was really good to get that kind of taste, and because they were number two. What I always say to people is like, look, if you're working with someone, always work with number two because they're hungry and they're ambitious. So they if you propose this to them, they're more open to it as opposed to that. Oh, I don't know, they don't want to risk their position when you're number one, but number two there because you got that leverage to use it. Oh, but you have to do this. Boots aren't doing this. Boots are number one for the time, so it was quite. So yeah, so that was kind of the perfume